Pat Nevin has a lot on his mind as he heads in for training these days, but then if his public image is to be believed, he always did. This member of the so-called football intelligentsia is quick to remind you that first and foremost he's a player, although from the moment he arrives at work in the morning it's clear his duties now stretch slightly further than that.
Plenty of time after training.
Okay.
Everything okay?
I'll see you later, yeah, no problem.
Right. A few meetings after training, we'll do that.
But chief executive or not, there's no avoiding the banter in the players' lounge, although the morning we joined him it was slightly more surreal than the normal schoolboy humour.
Okay, sure, just because you were wanting to...
Mr. Chief Executive, have you met the new banana?
Hello, nice to meet you, Banana. I've not had a banana here for a week or two, so nice to see you.
So, with the morning's pleasantries over, it's off to work. But as far as the cameras are concerned, there are some areas Nevin is keeping strictly off limits at Motherwell.
And sadly, this is where it stops. This is the home team dressing room. We'll see you at training, no doubt. Hi, how you doing?
Mind you, having recently added the unique John Spencer to the squad, the closed-door policy is perhaps not such a bad idea.
There you go. Don't be following me about a big fluffy thing behind my... Right, Nico, we take some penalties? Yeah.
He may only be up on loan at the moment, but it hasn't taken Spenny long to fit in at Motherwell. In fact, most of the players will tell you it feels like he's been there for years already. So, Pat, the day's off to a good start. Usual banter with the players. That's not been changed since you've become chief exec, presumably.
That's awful quiet for Spenny, actually. He obviously knows the cameras are on. Very quiet today. Nah, just normal football club.
Seriously though, how does the how has the atmosphere in the dressing room changed as far as you're concerned since you've taken over this new role?
I don't think I've had any effect on it whatsoever. I think other people have had more of an effect on it. It's got very, very lively the last 3 or 4 weeks. We've had the new manager and obviously buying Spencer and Jed Brown, who's standing beside him there. The whole thing's got very, very lively in there. We're certainly no negative attitudes towards me, other than the normal.
They don't suddenly hide the playing cards and so on when the teacher walks in there?
No, wouldn't you be shocked if while you were filming it in training today if it was Mr. Nevin, can I have the ball here? Mr. Nevin, right? So
you tell us
don't
that's not an everyday occurrence.
Don't fall for that one.
How has Spencer changed the atmosphere in there? He seems a live wire.
He's been brilliant for us. He's been brilliant on the pitch, which is very important. The most important thing, but off the pitch he's been quite fantastic as well. Yeah, it's lively, the place is buzzing. We've had a few good results in a row. Haven't lost for 4 games. And there he goes again. I've told you to de-Spencer your camera.
But with the cameras in tow for the day, Spencer had attached himself limpet-like to his new boss's side. If pictures were to be taken, he was going to be in them. When it comes to the graft, though, there's no slacking here, even if you are in senior management. If you're to continue as a team player, of course, that's the only way it can be, although it doesn't always go the way you'd plan it. Predictably, the on-loan striker was only too keen to demonstrate how it should be done. Incidentally, don't be fooled, he might have looked calm, but he was loving it. But on the evidence of training, at least, it seems a fairly happy ship here at Motherwell. How satisfied are you with the way things are going at the moment, football-wise?
It's been a decent start since Billy came in. The first game, 5-0 defeat, that was pretty bad news, but that was too soon after Billy came in, really. There's nothing got to do with him, really. But yeah, the camaradade's there, the spirit's there, playing some interesting, exciting football, and the results have been quite good as well. But as I'm sure Billy will say exactly the same as me, we've done nothing yet. It's a wee start, nothing more than that. We need to keep on going at it.
Billy, how does the relationship between the pair of you work? Because people are inevitably going to think there's a conflict of interest here, you having to pick your boss every week for the team and so on. How are you getting on together?
Well, I've said all along that everybody knows Pat Nevin and how professional he is. When we first came into this job, we knew exactly where we stood. Pat's a player when he's in the dressing room, and then after that he's got another job to do within the club. But everybody that knows Pat knows he's a true professional, and there's absolutely no problem whatsoever.
So you can see this as a happy working relationship that has a serious future?
I think it's definitely, most definitely, yeah. For us there isn't a problem anyway. Certainly for 1 or 2 people outside there might be something going on, but we know exactly where we stand, and that's the most important thing.
So Pat, that's the football side of the day over for you, or at least the hands-on part of the football side of the day over for you. What's next?
I think we've actually got a couple of meetings back at the club. It's a Thursday today, as I said before. Got a few things done today. Can you make sure you don't do anything on Friday? It's too close to a game. But there'll be a few hours worth of work to do when I go back. But I say work, but it's actually becoming very enjoyable now. It's very, very interesting. I'm learning that side of it.
And one of the first changes Nevin made was behind the scenes, altering the way lunch is served after training. A small point perhaps, but there's no hierarchy in the dining room at Fir Park these days. From kitchen staff and apprentices right up to management, everyone eats together. After a quick bite, it's off to meetings. First in the diary, the boss.
Hi there, how you doing?
Hi, Pat. How's things?
Very well. Yeah.
How's training today?
Oh, excellent, excellent. Good laugh as ever.
I got... we got a meeting with Billy Davis?
Yeah, about 15 minutes or so.
Can you have a look at that?
Boyle uses Nevin primarily for his football knowledge, but his duties do extend further than simply playing matters. He's heavily involved in the business side of the club too, discussing everything from pricing structures to corporate hospitality. Demands on his time come from all angles. It's been a hectic start, to say the very least.
Well, the first month was quite difficult. I was trying to get a handle on an awful lot of things within the club, you know, and John wanted to give me a report from really inside, which is pretty handy, I think, if you can put somebody right inside the workings of it. And I was just had the report ready for him on the Monday, and then the Tuesday, our manager, Harry Campman, resigned. So that put it back a week or so, and it was a mad week. But within all that, it was very, very difficult in the media, particularly for myself, for the club as well. Immediately appointed Billy, and we were beaten 5-0 on the Saturday. So I think we can safely say that was a low point. But after that, you know, things got slightly better, and we haven't lost since then. In my role, when I finally got the report to John and to the rest of the board, I told them the things where I thought changes needed to be made were adaptations within the club structure in various areas, and I included my own job. But that was always on the cards anyway. It was always an overseeing role that was planned for me by myself.
It's a situation whereby interference in club matters, interference in team matters and so on could easily, you know, become a problem. Is it going to be unique to Motherwell, do you think, in terms of you got the balance just right here?
Well, Holt have got the balance just right. I mean, I would say that, wouldn't I? It's right. But, I mean, the most obvious bit is, you know, the first 4 games when Billy Davis was in charge, he didn't pick me. So obviously there's a balance there that he's quite happy to leave me out and not play me and drop me or whatever. And I've kind of said it to Billy, you know, don't play me unless I'm absolutely certain that the one that has to be played. I think if there's anything that's going to be slightly unfair in that whole concept, it's going to be unfair against me. The fact that if there's a doubt, then I won't be played.
Kilmarnock against Motherwell, it was 0-0 there, and David McKinnon has the story of that game.
Yes, goalless at Rugby Park. Kilmarnock failing to capitalise and Rangers dropped points. In very blustery conditions, Motherwell started brightest, but gradually Kilmarnock got to grips. And in an action-packed first half, they had at least half a dozen chances for a breakthrough, but the visiting defence stood firm and indeed almost took the lead when Spencer fired inches wide 5 minutes from the break. The second half followed the same pattern as the first, with Kilmarnock surging forward, and they should have scored in 57 minutes with a glorious chance for Paul Wright. McGowne's cross right with the open goal, but he couldn't connect and the chance was lost. Motherwell rarely created any chances, but into the closing minutes they gave the home support a nail-biting finish with 3 great chances, but the game finished goalless, Kilmarnock 0 and Motherwell 0.
Second top Kilmarnock were given a rapturous welcome at Rugby Park to face a Motherwell side growing in confidence but still looking for their first away win of the season. Jerome Vareille is in sparkling form at the moment, who along with Ian Durrant ran the show for Killie. The Frenchman's cross to Ali Mitchell well weighted, with the 29-year-old strike just wide. It was goalless the last time these sides met, but Wright and Vareille showed a good understanding of one another as they tried to break through the Well defence. Vareille's chip laid on to Martin Baker, but again the final shot lacking precision. At just 24, Vareille has barrel loads of energy and enthusiasm, this electric turn and strike bringing out the best in Nico Caven. It was former Killie favourite Pat Nevin who led the charge for the Fir Park side. His pass to Brannan deflected back to John Spencer. He's made a real impact on the Steelmen since joining on loan from Everton, but unlucky on that occasion. Into the second half, and it was a string of penalty claims that got the fans talking. Valakari's challenge not perceived to be illegal by ref Douglas McDonald, and Durrant not convinced. When it comes to missing the target, Paul Wright is one of the last people you'd think of. But when McGowne squared in front of goal, Killie's normally deadly hitman was in Van Vossen form. Just 3 yards out, and the Killie bench in disbelief. Penalty claim number 2 for the home side was a more realistic appeal. Motherwell's Sean Teal handles in the box, although it doesn't look intentional. Again, Cavan proving solid at the back. It was the visitors' turn to protest next. Owen Coyle's run brought to a sudden halt by Ray Montgomery. But the ref waved play on. Motherwell quite rightly upset. No penalty. And no free kick for this pass back either. Although Killie had the best of the play, they just couldn't hit the target and take advantage of Rangers' slip-up against Celtic. Adams netted for well in the dying seconds, but the foul had already been given. 0-0, the final score.
Yeah, I didn't think we played as well today, but it was a great battling performance. It's always a difficult place to come and play, and at the end of the day, I've got to be delighted with the point.
That was the Motherwell manager. This is the Kilmarnock manager. Bobby, I think you really thought that even from those highlights there, you had the bulk of the play in that game.
Yeah, we definitely dominated the game, I felt, but unfortunately in front of goal, we've just been out of luck. And you've seen Paul Wright's chance, he was obviously unbalanced, and he's seen it late. And 9 times out of 10 we managed to take that away. He scored goals for us in the past, and he'll score important goals for us again in the future.
A couple of penalty claims, but then again, so did Motherwell.
That's right. The boys had his hand, had his arm, and we've not got it. But as I say, these things will even themselves out over the course of the season. And even themselves out on the day, actually, because Monty seemed to have caught the man. I don't know where they got touching the ball at all, but they could have went against us there.
There was great fanfare in the summer when you signed a striker called Ali McCoist. What's happened to him?
He's resting. He's recuperating.
Is he injured?
He is. He's got a bit of scar tissue problem in his calf, and he feels it tightening up during training, so he doesn't want to push it too much in case it busts on him. But he'll be back shortly, I would think.
You can't really put a timescale on that at the moment, though?
No, no way a man at his age.
Thank you very much. Go to Dundee, that puts them level in points with Hearts on 19 at the top. Rangers 5 points clear of Kilmarnock now. 3 clubs now pegged on 14 at the bottom: United, Aberdeen and Dunfermline.
Nevin was on the team list on Saturday when his new club were the visitors at his old ground, Rugby Park. It was a trip into the Lions' den to an extent, but that didn't seem to faze him. Killie had the first of the chances in this one. Ali Mitchell's cross found Jerome Vareille with a good first touch. He engineered space to shoot, but Cavan was alert at the near post. Now up to the other end, and Pat Nevin given the full treatment by the home fans, but a 1-2 with his pal John Spencer allowed him in behind the Kilmarnock defence. The ball across the 6-yard box was a good one. It deserved someone on the other end of it at the very least. When eventually it made its way back out, ubiquitous Spenny was unlucky. The shot made it through the bodies uninterrupted, but just wide of target. Now, not such pleasant viewing for Motherwell. Gary Holt blocked Stephen McMillan fairly effortlessly. Jerome Vareille's ball cannons between the legs of Sean Teal. Holt latched onto it. His cross was headed straight back out to him. The shot eventually coming from distance, courtesy of Ian Durrant. So into the second half, and a seemingly impossible miss from the normally reliable Paul Wright. Durrant's cross knocked back by Kevin McGowne, and you put your mortgage on the striker from there. Sadly, it doesn't look any better from that angle. A draw didn't hold much appeal for Kilmarnock, and they thought they'd be given a lifeline close to the end when the ball appeared to strike the arm of Sean Teal. No whistle though, so the home side played on, but Ali Mitchell's long-range effort didn't cause any real problems for Miko Cavan. There are some games you're just not destined to win, no matter how much effort you put into them. Sadly for Bobby Williamson's second place side, this was one of them. 0-0 it finished.